Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about Mystery Science Theater 3000, episode 1301, Santo in the Treasure of Dracula. Now, this is the big return episode for Mystery Science Theater since it was on. We haven't had a new episode since 2018. Wow, really? 2018, which I just looking at now, I'm like, wow, that's wild. Not as long as it was between 10 and 11, but still, I think maybe the second longest break we've ever had in episodes for Mystery Science Theater, and it's the first one on the new Gizmoplex, which is the new app website thing that is basically Mystery Science Theater's own app where you can watch episodes. The first episode premiered for backers, which I of course am because I watch it, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. It's always fun to watch a return episode. I am also going to talk about my experience with Gizmoplex so far, although I will add the caveat that Joel even said, like, they're sort of getting things running and slowly getting things better, so I'm going to cut them a break because most streaming services are like, this is going to be great, and launch it, and very few have one of their head people be like, hey, we're still figuring it out. So I'm actually going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So this is sort of a Gizmoplex review as well. I would not fully review the app as itself because it's just like admittedly not ready, so that's not fully fair, so that's why it's in here. But Santo and the Treasure of Dracula, this is a Jonah episode with, and I've checked many times, and I want to preface why I wanted to check, is Hampton, Youth, and Baron Vaughn as Crow and Servo, and Jonah Ray doing it. I know they're going to switch off between Emily and Joel. I don't think they've specified beforehand who gets what episode. Maybe they did in the Q&A. I don't think I watched the whole, because this was done as, this was done as kind of a streaming premiere with a thing about having to make nachos midway through and a Q&A at the end. I watched most of the full thing. I think there might have been 20 minutes, so maybe questions other than that. And this is the first time they're doing that. You don't get the end credits. That's why I was confused who was Cicero and Crow. It just kind of stops, and there are various like ads for top people who gave to the Kickstarter. And I think they're probably going to eventually do ads for like, stamps.com or ridged wallets and stuff like that, because that's kind of how the online economy is for content creators. So it was different. It kind of reminded me of back in the day being excited for a premiere of an episode, getting my tape ready, like Revenge of the Creature for 801, which I actually have reviewed that one if you want to check that out. It semi reminded me of that. I also think because unlike Reptilicus, which I think Reptilicus might be a stronger return episode, this feels like people who sort of know what they're doing a little better than that one. I also noticed the riffing style is calmed down significantly. I know one of the problems with Netflix is the production process made them shoot everything pretty quickly, and this time they have more time to work on each episode individually, which is actually what they used to do on Comedy Central and Sci-Fi. So I'm kind of hoping for Gizmoplex them to be able to, maybe we'll get even better. Not that I didn't hate the Netflix episodes. They're kind of Hollywood Mystery Science Theater as I always think of them, but I like certain ones a lot actually. Cry Wilderness especially is like a favorite. I've watched a few times, but I like the slower riffing style, but it confused me because I was so used to that for the Jonah era that I really was not sure that was Hampton. I could tell from Baron's voice, but I really was not sure. Like, I'm not trying to be. I liked it. I thought the riffs were good. They did an MF Doom reference, which I appreciated. They just called Santo MF Doom. So that's not the deepest one, but they said it. Hey, like in the Revenge of the Creature, I think they mentioned Beck in one of the early Sci-Fi Channel ones. And I'm still a big Beck fan, but I freaked out then. So this is like the level of stupid nerddom this is. But I like the riffing style in it. I don't think this wasn't an episode that I would consider one of the funnier ones of all time, but I like the style of it. I think fans will probably like it a little bit more because it's a little slower and reminding me more of the Jonah era and less of the rapid pace, rapid fire Netflix one, which felt like you barely hear the movie sometimes. It'd just be going. But it was also remind me, like, they didn't do the famous Baron Vaughn Servo thing. I don't know if he created it or not, where it'd be like this person playing this person in this movie. Like, I love that joke. That was not in here. The movie is about Santo, who is a famous Mexican wrestler, and he's also a scientist in this, and he fights Dracula. So it's weird. It's pretty bad. Apparently this is the child-friendly version, the censored version. There are other versions that have since actually come out recently, I was reading, which is kind of interesting. This is a fun B movie to watch. I remember I was really into the Western horror movies for a little bit. TCM played them, and I watched them a couple times. Every time they'd play, it's like Dracula and Billy the Kid or something. I forget their names now, actually. Something in Frankenstein. And I used to sort of have a fondness for those. They weren't good, but I liked having them on. So this kind of reminded me of that as a movie. Host segment wise, it was nice seeing Patton Oswalt return as Max and Felicia Day as Kinga. I think they're a great duo. I like having this whole crew together again. I'm curious, like having the different hosts of MST3K together, how that's all going to play throughout a season. I'm curious about that. But I thought it went well for this episode, and the Gizmoplex and everything that's going on. I think they're on Moon 1 because they destroyed Moon 13. The boneheads are all gone, but I think Cost Saving Measure and Harmar Superstar, I guess he was canceled and so forth. So I guess, whatever. But I do think it's a solid episode. It was a fairly consistent one, and one I really enjoyed watching. And I like this model right now because I might actually be reviewing each of these this season in this way, because it made it an event. Like, it was like, this is something I'm doing this weekend, is I'm watching fucking Santo and the Treasure of Dracula episode of Mystery Science Theater 13's kicking off. I gave it the Kickstarter. This is great. I love that element of it. I couldn't watch it when it premieres. It premieres on Friday at 8. I have 2 small children. That is not going to work out for me. They're in bed before 8. It's a fucking miracle. So I that did not happen for me. I got to watch it later. It did not work for me in the app on my phone, which is filming this iPhone. Shout out to the phone. Thumbs up for the phone in the chat. I could watch it on the Safari on my phone, so I don't fully understand that one. And I just got to watch it basically sort of pieces throughout the weekend, but it was wonderful. I've not signed in on my laptop or anything like that. I was fine with it. I'm curious about like the older episodes. I sort of wish we could have more access to episodes, specifically ones that like are on YouTube that I can watch for free, or like on Pluto. I'm a little confused about the rights things with that. Maybe they answered that question somewhere, but it feels like we should have access to more episodes. I know they're going to let 6 be available each month, but it feels a little weird when like you're sort of paying for this app and there's like a bunch of them that are free on your YouTube channel. To me, it's like, could you just let all the ones on the YouTube channel be there, and like there'll be 6 that you can't let rotate? I think would make more sense. Like, just all my Mystery Science Theater stuff's in one place. That's my only criticism. But again, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know of any other franchise that is contained within. This is all they do in this app is Mystery Science Theater. There's not like another show or something like that. They're going to do events for Mystery Science Theater, all that stuff. But that is what's going on, is this thing. So I don't know of any other show or thing that is just self-contained within its own app like this, that I can't think of any. So I applaud them for doing it. I think it is a brave new different thing. Curious how the premieres will go when it's not just backers and how many people will show up. I think I saw that there were during when it was premiering, I would just go there and see how it was going, and it seemed like there was like 2,000 people watching, which is good for Kickstarter people. I hope more people come. And I'm curious how they'll get, like, will the premieres be like not behind a paywall and things like that? Maybe they've answered these questions, but I like where it's going so far. I'm happy with this episode. I was happy with a bunch of the jokes. I can't I used to write down like what my favorite joke was and everything, but I like the riffing style. I like the host segment where Crow and Servo were supposed to be wrestlers and they just hate each other, and they didn't. I thought that was funny. I thought Jonah did a good job. The green screen thing didn't bother me. They planned it all out during COVID. It really doesn't bug me. I'd much rather get an episode than like worry about the aesthetic nonsense like that. It's different, but this is a different era, and so far I'm really liking the production wise this era. I will say it is a little disappointing to see the tunnel sequence be changed and be more of this animated thing. To me, it's like, why don't you go crazier and do a weirder animation thing than just do like the same thing but with photos of all this? That's kind of not as great. Like, I feel like you could do like a jam. This is just a random ass idea, but you could do a jam animation and get like 6 different animators to draw cool doors or something like that, or get one animator, or each era has a different one or something like that. I think that would be cool, but again, we'll see about that. I don't mind, again, the sponsor thing. It's just kind of the life of online stuff now. It was a Kickstarter reward. It's not, but at the same time, I want there to be more Mystery Science Theater. We have to like compromise to a certain point, and like I really don't mind if it is them selling ads for like ExpressVPN or something. Like, I know people get so upset about that, but to me it's like, I scroll through, I understand these people need to pay bills, I understand AdSense doesn't pay that well. You know, people have, if you want this to be their job, you have to let them do those things. So I to me, I think, you know, maybe a Mubi would be a better sponsor or something like that. I don't know, I'm not their ad sales team, but I do think I'm fine with Jonah and the bots doing ads, because it's like, I'd much rather ad money go to Mystery Science Theater than ad money go to Comedy Central or Sci-Fi. You know, I watched them back in the day. I had to cut out the ads, and like, I'd much rather go to them to make more episodes and pay these performers who can continue to want to do this show because it pays them well, rather than, you know, not have ads. And, you know, I think I have often, I made an episode of like how you would make more Mystery Science Theater episodes, and I thought Patreon was a better idea. I think maybe going forward, maybe there will, or the Gizmoplex, however much they're going to charge for it. I was a Kickstarter person, so I don't know, but we'll see. I'm excited for it, and I like where it's going right now. I like Santo in the Treasure of Dracula. I think is a good, solid episode. It's a solid episode of Mystery Science Theater, and that's what I wanted again, and I was happy to get a new solid episode of the show. I'm going to keep with it. I think I'm only going to review episodes, not the events, most likely, because I don't have a stream and stuff like that to do that, but maybe when I get back at that I will. But yeah, I think this is going to run like once a month throughout the rest of the year, so maybe I'll come back and we'll see Robot Wars, which I oddly have not seen, so I'm glad I'm getting to see it for the first time with MST3K, which will be fun. All right, so if you saw Mantos and the Treasure of Dracula, the Mystery Science Theater episode, or you just saw the movie anyway, episode 1301, and you would like to talk about it, comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.